Next, we're going to take a look at creating a header and a footer for different sections. And anytime that you want to apply different formatting to different parts, like if I wanted formatting, and by the way, I'm going to get rid of this page break that I put in here because they go back and make a change to that. I certainly would. There's nothing wrong with putting a hard page break in there, but a little bit later on they're going to show us how we can keep paragraphs together using one of the features in the paragraph dialog box launcher. So in the paragraph dialog box, not launcher, but anyway, so I'm going to remove that while I'm thinking of it. But if you want to apply different formatting, for example, if I wanted to apply, let's say, where this starts a new section, I'm using that section term loosely here, but a new area where it's talking about graphics and multimedia software. If I wanted these pages to be landscaped, then I would need a section break between this previous page and this page so that this section could be treated separately from the previous 3 pages. Okay, so anytime a page formatting change needs to take place, there has to be a section break in it. So you can also insert a section break that starts a new section on the next even number page, or a section break that starts a new section on the next odd number page. And so we're going to take a look at that in the document that we have been using. And so anyway, they give you an example there too on page 30. The second paragraph, it says if a document contains several chapters, you can create a section for each chapter and then create a different header and footer for each of the sections. And then when dividing a document into sections by chapter, you'd insert a section break that also begins a new page. And so we're going to take a look at a variety of those examples that they give us in the document that we have been using here for Project 5. So the first thing that we're going to do though is remove the odd and even page footers that we have on here right now. So again, to do that, we're going to go back to the Insert tab, and then for we're just going to go to the footer first. I guess that's all that we have on there. We don't have any headers anymore. So we're going to go to Footer, and then Edit Footer, and then we need to remove this different odd and even pages. Let's remove that, and then we can go right back to the Footer button, and at the bottom of that, we're going to remove Footer. And I'm going to get out of that for just a second so you can see that all the footers have been removed from the bottom of each of the pages. Okay. And then we're also going to remove this page break that had been inserted previously that appears right before this second. I'm going to call it section. That's not what it is yet because we don't have sections in there, but it's a different area, different topic within our document. So we are going to delete out the page break, and I'm just clicking right on top of that and pressing the delete key. I'm going to do it one more time so that it pulls it up. There's not so much space between it as well. Alright, then we're going to insert an odd page break at the beginning of this. So when this section begins, we want it to begin on an odd page, and it's going to also have a page break in there in addition to a section break. So to do that, we're going to go into the page breaks tab, or the page breaks button, and that's under the page layout tab in the setup group, and then you're going to see insert page and section breaks. And if you'll recall from this menu, the top area here deals with page breaks, but the bottom area deals with section breaks. And the first one that we're going to insert is the odd page section break. And I don't know if you can read this or not. And if you want to go to page 31, you can certainly do that. But the option says that it's going to insert a section break, and it'll start a new page or a new section. So it's going to insert a section break and start a new section on the next odd numbered page. So whenever it gets to an odd number page, it's going to insert a section break and start the new section. Okay, so we're going to choose that. And then we're going to create a section and page numbering footers for each of our sections. Now once we put the section break in, notice now we're in section 2, so anything from this point down, which is not a lot, but that's all section 2, so we can do any kind of formatting to this area. However, above this topic change, it's section 1. So anything from here on up to page 1 is all section 1. And any changes we make, whether that be margin changes, making our document landscape, all that will just be housed in this section 1. It does not affect any of the formatting that's in section 2. Okay. All right, now we're going to go back up and we're going to insert some footers for both of these sections. The first section will have section 1 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it'll have page numbering, and then when we get down to the second topic area, we'll have as our footer section 2, and then on the right hand side page numbering. Okay, so to do that, again, I'm going to go back to the Insert tab, Footer, and Edit Footer. And I'm on page 1, section 1, notice here. I'm going to type in section 1, tab a couple of times. I'll type in page followed by a space, and then we're going to put in a page number at this current position with a plain number. So I'm going to go up to my ribbon, choose page number, current position, and then just plain. It'll insert the plain number there. Okay. Now I'm going to click on Next. Next will take me to the next section, which if you'll notice is section 2, which is right now, since we chose odd pages there, it switched that not to page 4 but page 5. And so we're going to remove this same as previous because we're going to change this so that it reads section 2. If we do not remove this link to previous, okay, if we don't remove that, then when we change this to 2, then the previous section will say 2, and we don't want it to be 2 because it's section 1. Okay, so I'm in this next section. I'm going to click the link to previous to deselect it, turns it off, notice the little tab's gone, and then I'm going to switch this from 1 to 2 because we are in section 2. Okay, I'm going to close out of this, and now you can see this is my first page, first section, section 1, page 1, section 1, page 2, section 1, page 3. Then notice this new topic here in blue here, section 2, page 5. Alright, so it's forcing it to be the next odd page. That's why 4 didn't pop up. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go to a section called Database Software, which is in this first section here. And we're going to force this to have a page break with even page numbering. Okay, so right in front of the Database Software. Again, we're going to go to the Page Layout tab, Insert Page and Section Breaks. This time we're choosing Even Page. Notice again it's going to insert a section break and then start a new section on the next even number page. Alright, and now let's see what it did. Notice it kicked it to a new page. We're back at the top here, so section 1, page 1, section 2, section 1, sorry, page 2, section 1, page 4, notice it forced it to an even page, it's not 3, and then section 2, page 5. Okay. Now they want us to go through and remove that even page section break that we just put in there. And if you notice as we go through this, you can't see really where that section break is until, and I'm going to turn these off for just a second. In the draft view, if you switch to the draft view, now you'll be able to tell where the section breaks are. I'll put one in front of that next category of information. So they want us to remove the section break even page that we put in front of Database Software. So I'm going to click right on that line, press delete, and that removes it. And then the odd page down here in front of this new category, they want us to change that so that it's just a regular next page section break and it's not forcing it to be an odd page. So I'm going to take out the current one, and then we're going to insert another section break, and this one's just going to be called next page section break. It's inserting a section break and then starting the new section on the next page. So click on that, and then let's take a look at what it did. I'm going to go back to the print layout view for just a second. Okay, so we're on the first page. It should be section 1, page 1. It's not at section 2. Okay, let's get into that. I'm going to double click. I'm going to go to section 2, which is next. That same as previous button is on, so I've got to click to turn that off. And then I'm going to jump up. Now remember, this is where the new section should really be, but here I'm going to change that to 1. Close out of it. We'll check it again. So this is the bottom of page 1, section 1, page 1. The second page should be section 1, page 2. This is still the first section, so section 1, page 3. And then this is the new section, so section 2, page 4. So now we're back to kind of the way it seems to make sense. We've got section breaks just changing here where we've got new topics. Now, what we're going to do is, I think we'll fix this one in the next project, and I think we're okay with the headers and footers from project 5E. So we'll continue on. 5F will actually show us how to print sections, and then 5G, will be the one that will correct this problem of having a heading hanging out by itself at the bottom of the page. So in project 5F, we are going to, I just want to take you through the steps of printing those sections. If, let's say, you only want to print out the first page, which would be this one right here, the first page of the first section, and then you also want to just print out just the first page of the second section, simply all you do there is go to the File tab and then Print, and then in the Print Pages there's codes for all these. If you'll go to page 33, you'll notice in step 2, and it's B, it's the very last one there in pink, but the P1 is for page 1, and then S1 is for section 1, and then you just separate those with commas. So that would interpret as page 1 of section 1 and then page 1 of section 2. So you type those into your text box in the pages, and then you could print that out. Alright, I'm also noticing on in project 5F that we need to change the page numbering. So for the first section, they want to keep normal page numbering here. Page 1, page 2, page 3. All this is section 1. Then when it goes to section 2, down at the bottom, they want to start that page numbering back at 1. So to do that, I'm just going to double click to get into the footer, and then I'm going to click on that number that we want to change and start at 1. And then we'll go up to the page number button on the ribbon, and then format page numbers, and then start at, and it'll default to 1, but if you wanted to start at 2 or wherever, you could certainly do that. So we're going to leave it at 1. We'll click OK, close out a header and footer, and that should update it, but just to show you what's going on here, it's still 1, page 1, this is section 1, page 2, page 3, and then we're now in section 2, and it refers back to page 1. And then if we had more pages within section 2, it automatically number those as well. Okay, now back to this spreadsheet software issue. Now this is in project 5G. We want to keep the paragraph, no matter where it's located, we want the paragraph below this presentation software heading to stay with it, to hang together, to keep it together. So to do that, you just click anywhere in your heading, and then we're going to go to the paragraph launcher. This is on the Home tab, Paragraph Group, Paragraph Dialog Box, and within that we're going to go to Line and Page Breaks, and then we're going to say Keep with Next. Alright, and then I'm going to click OK, and that'll automatically shift that. Notice it shifted it to the next page. Okay, and then they have us inserting a soft page break also before that presentation software, and I'm going to leave it as is. I'll show you where that's at. Well, we can go ahead and do that. It's not a big deal. Again, if you want to layer insertion point within that heading, go back to the paragraph dialog box, and then you just put in page break before. And then we'll click OK. And you can see that it puts that soft page break right in front of the presentation software heading. Okay, I'm going to go back to print layout again. And I wanted to show you, this is the example that I was talking about previously, where when you double space a document, notice there's a little bit extra spacing in here, which is okay for some purposes, but when you double space, typically to start a new paragraph, you need to indent. And so what you could do on this is you could select your paragraphs, use this indent marker, that'll indent the first line of each one of these paragraphs, and then what you also need to do is remove the spacing after. and that'll give you true double spacing between these paragraphs. So be careful with that. Some books don't necessarily stress that enough, but you do need to keep consistent spacing between all of your paragraphs.